I'm Anya Mitchell.
And I'm Christina Holmes.
And this is WRAM Power.
Here's a look at the news. Do you know anyone born between 1957 and 1971? Since the recent rash of outbreaks of the measles, the CDC is recommending those born between those specific years they get vaccinated even if they were already vaccinated. Doctors revealed that there was a vaccination gap between those years, meaning you either didn't get the vaccination or if you did, the vaccination wasn't nearly as effective as the current one.
There will be no more ice cream from the Klein period farm there. After suspending products of its ice cream line in December, the Baton Rouge company said Friday it will not resume production. Company officials said the ice cream line only made up to about 3% of sales and it became difficult to keep up with the quality of the products.
Here's some good news for Saints fans. Despite the ongoing legal problems within the Benson family, the team has announced there will be no increase in ticket prices for 2015, according to a letter posted on the team's website.
Last week before the Mardi Gras break, West St. John held its ACT Master Boot Camp. The camp was a highly engaged one-day workshop where students learned exactly what they needed to boost their ACT score. The workshop features a live on-site instructor and allowed opportunities for students to practice time segments of the ACT throughout the day until they were confident they can achieve the pace they will need to succeed.
According to the camp's website, 99% of students attending the program felt it would help them improve their ACT scores. The philosophy that drives the ACT Masteries program's effectiveness is that content is king. Students actually have to learn something in order to make significant ACT score improvements. Students review the practice essential skills tested in the English, math, reading, and science segments of the ACT.
The person who developed this program is Craig Gehring, and he scored perfect scores on the ACT and the SAT. And his mission has been to get as many students in college as he could. So he and his team have studied probably 30 ACT tests, and they based the content on the boot camp on what they've seen as the most occurring types of questions. So when they put the boot camp together, we were looking at what are the skills the students are going to be tested on, what are some basic skills, and that's why the content is the way it is. That's why we really focus on some of the grammar. We're looking at the basic math skills.
The program today with the ACT prep was super. I mean, one thing that they stressed was the timing and how important being able to answer your questions, giving them the information, and the test taking tips was great because it's so critical, especially when they're taking a test the first couple of times.
In celebration of Black History Month, West St. John High School students were treated to a poetry featuring New Orleans artist Chuck Perkins. Mr. Perkins is an American poet and social activist who infuses the rhyme and vernacular from the Crescent City into his musical spoken pieces.
Recently, New Orleans Time-Picking Youth said that he recites poetry like a prize fighter, always going for the knockout.
200 slaves who can be so mean. Senegambia is from where we came. Shipped in slave chains to the Congo plain.
We'll be having a separate period schedule next year. So we asked some students and teachers how they felt about this.
My name is Ryan Cannon. I think that the 7th period is aggravating because I'm supposed to have early release next year.
Hi, I'm Ms. Casis, and as far as the 7th period schedule next year, I'm all for it. I believe the students will stay more engaged in a shorter time frame and will be able to cover more material throughout the entire year instead of jamming it all into one semester.
My name is Tiana Summers, and I think that the 7th period schedule for next year is not good because I don't think we should take the classes all year round. It don't make no sense.
Hello, my name is Jamal Walters. I feel that the 7th period schedule is not a good idea because I feel better learning 4th period schedule because I like 90 minutes and 45 minutes is not good for me to learn.
My name is Eleni Fivray, and I think that the 7th period schedule is okay because either way you're going to learn something.
Here is Student Spotlight with Jordan Gauthier.
Hi, my name is Jordan Gauthier. I'm a senior at West St. John High School.
What are your plans after high school?
My plans after high school is to attend Louisiana College in Pineville, Alexandria, and I'm going to go for criminal justice.
All right. What would you give to an underclassman?
Clown, have fun. Definitely have fun while before you be a senior in high school. Do your work, but have fun.
All right. All right. What will you miss most about West St. John?
The people. I miss being around my friends all day, 24/7, clowning. I'm gonna definitely miss that.
Okay. All right. What are you planning to play in college, and what are you looking forward to most in college?
I plan on playing nickelback at Louisiana College. I plan on, well, what I look forward to the most in college, gotta, just to finish and get my college experience. I really want the experience of being a.
My name is Lorenzo Edwards, better known as Mr. Lowe. I've been working here about 3 years now.
And how did you get into culinary arts?
I got into culinary arts because when I attended here, the home ec teacher used to, I wouldn't say pull me out of class, but used to have me help her do stuff outside of her class time. And when I originally went to school for business, I decided that I like culinary also, so I went back and did that.
About how long have you been Chef Lorenzo Edwards?
I would say about since 2009 was when I graduated from culinary school and worked in a restaurant.
You ever been a head chef at a restaurant?
No, I have not been a head chef at a restaurant.
What does it take to become a chef?
First of all, you have to have some type of skill. Not saying you have to be the best cook because you can learn that, but you have to have some type of skill. You have to have pride. You have to be dedicated because it is a hard job. It doesn't look like it when you're watching the people on TV, but actually behind the scenes you put in a lot of hours. You usually work when other people are out there celebrating, like holidays. You work weekends. You work. That's the time when we need it the most. So I mean, you have to be dedicated and willing to give up time with your family and friends in order to earn a living. But I mean, it's fun once you get into it. It's really fun.
So as far as education and certifications, what does it take to become a chef?
Well, technically, you don't have to have an education in order to be a chef. I mean, but it does help you out a lot. You get to move ahead. So I attended Nicholas State University, which is where the Chef John Phelps Culinary Institute is. I only received an associate's degree because I already had a bachelor's degree in management. So, but they do offer a bachelor's degree. But getting the education, you're gonna have to take a lot of basic courses, of course, obviously. And then towards the end, you get into all the culinary courses. As far as certifications, there isn't really a certification that you need. I mean, Serve Safe, which we teach here, is one that would be required at the establishment, but you don't necessarily have to have it. But I mean, if you do have it, that's a big ups for getting a job and maybe even moving up the ladder a little faster. Other than that, a lot of people just start off working there. Some people even start off as dishwashers maybe and pick up some skills by watching the cooks and then eventually move on, transition into being a cook, which then eventually could transition on to being a chef if you stay there long enough.
So what's the difference between a cook and a chef?
Basically, there is no difference. Usually, when you call somebody a chef in a kitchen, it's usually the person who's running the show, like the executive chef or the executive sous chef. Everybody else in that kitchen is usually referred to as a cook. Looking from the outside world, everybody refers to anybody working in the kitchen as a chef. So I mean, that's the big difference. All of us are basically cooks. That's what we are. Until we move up and get out of a management position or a supervisor position, and then people start calling you chef.
Which restaurant would you recommend?
I won't say recommend, but a restaurant that I visit often is Mike Anderson's in Gonzales. I mean, there's a lot of other great restaurants around there, but that's one that I tend to go to often.
Here's a look at the announcements.
Reminder to all students, especially the seniors, that the third 9 weeks will end on March 16th. Make sure you turn in all your assignments on time. And remember, the end of the school year is fast approaching.